It's time to turn. Hey! Hey! Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to turn. Hey! Hey! It's time to turn. Hell, tough. We don't cheer, we rebel. Turn. We don't cheer, we rebel. Seymour, Belly, Tubby, Johnny, ringing that bell. Turn. Hear that crowd start to yell. You can boo, you can scream our names. We were born to raise hell. Yeah, walk slow, big grin, back to the ropes, drink it in. Every saint, every sinner in the cheap seats knows they came to watch us win. Cheap shot, blind side, ref looking days at the sign. You want hero? Check the wrong side. We're the line you can't define. Turn. We don't cheer, we rebel. Seymour, Belly, Tubby, Johnny, ringing that bell. Turn.
Down in
That's
like
Tamworth.
southern Queensland.
Oh,
Yeah, Tamworth.
Tamworth. Right, okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And it helps if I turn on my mic. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Turnhill Wrestling Podcast for this wonderful Tuesday evening. My name is John Hancock. Hope everyone is doing well. I am joined in the studio today by Mr. Seymour.
What's up, mate? You've got an ad as well, just so you're aware.
Yeah, I know I've got to
I know,
add,
'cause
and I
I'm
do
subscribed.
apologise. But yeah, we'll continue on going through. We'll try our best. Also joining us is Newey Pro Wrestling number one fan. It's Bellinaire.
Thanks for having us.
It's David. And joining us is the founder and co-owner and DJ of remixmania, the man, the myth, the legend. It's Beau.
What an intro.
I tried my very best. Hello
What an
to
intro.
Tubby G.
I feel a little bit like Micah Richards over here. I've just been ripped off.
But hello to Tubby G, who cannot be with us tonight. He is with his wonderful missus out on holiday. He will be attending our wonderful show this weekend for Renegades of Wrestling. All right, boys, it's Elimination Chamber week. I hope everyone now, just to let everyone know in chat, no spoilers for Raw because Emil and Belly have not watched Raw yet. So we are not going to talk about Raw. I'm just going to tell you, Bo. So we won't talk about Raw. But
That's right, no stress.
there might be some spoilers due to the Elimination Chamber. So I do apologize if that happens, but I'll try my best.
Oh,
If you give a spoiler, Johnny, I'm leaving.
I am not going to
Never coming back.
I am
just
not going to give a
just leave out the last person.
I will.
Don't
Don't
talk
worry.
about the last person
I
that's
will not.
qualified
will
because I
not.
don't want to cry on stream.
Actually, do it. I don't care if Seymour cries.
Bam is the loudest this microphone can go. I'll see if I can turn it up a bit more. But that's
Maybe
how
in your
loud
actual
I can go. I've already tried on my app, so I've done that
Okay.
in the headphones. So let's start with you, Bo. How you been, mate, since I last saw you?
Very good, mate. Just obviously getting things ready for the next event, if not two events. And yeah, really that's about it, mate. Just getting all that stuff ready.
We will talk about the upcoming event shortly after we talk about the chamber, and found out today that we have someone in common with Mr. Anster.
Yeah.
Andy. So that was
You
a
poor
small
fella.
world.
Oh, mate, that's we're going back to it's 20 years minimum.
Jesus.
We're sorry. We're sorry
get-
for your
So
pain.
you were a fan of Pokemon as well?
I am.
I was gonna say because I said earlier there's only two reasons you know Andy. And I can't mention the other one, but yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I don't know him through. I actually reconnected with him because I was scrolling through some streams to do with Pokemon on Twitch once, and I saw that, and I clicked on it. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I think I know this guy.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, that was it. Then otherwise, I hadn't spoken to him in just over a decade, if not more.
So I'm guessing high school or something like that.
No. when I was younger and a bit more of a touring DJ and stuff, he used to come to a lot of our gigs, and then we all became friends, and we used to go clubbing together underage as well. And yeah, it was really he was always a good dude. So then to see him doing that now, and he's doing well with all his Pokemon card stuff. So given I've got an interest in it, yeah, it was good that we were able to cross paths again.
So it sounds like the first thing is what you cross paths with, and now it's Pokemon that's reconnected you. That's cool.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Before we get on to more wrestling talk, though, who's your favorite Pokemon?
Uh, yeah, people, I don't know why. No one ever says Arcanine, but I do.
My boy!
Hello.
Fair
We
enough,
are
there we
we're
go.
friends. We're friends. We're friends. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know.
I'll
Like
defend
I
you
never
forever now.
took to all the, I would say the mainstream ones that everyone says. I don't know.
For
Fair
some
enough.
reason, I always said Growlithe,
Yeah.
but in like the last 3 years when I actually started collecting it, I was like, I mean, to be fair, Growlithe is a little bitch. Arcanine, where's
Brother.
that?
I tell you, the Arcanine Master Set is one of the easiest things to do ever.
I mean, I can't imagine there'd be too many.
No, and they're not expensive, so it's good.
Fair enough,
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah.
Let's see if I can turn that up a little bit. Okay, so let's get on to talking the chamber. If you have watched Raw, you know who has qualified for the final men's spot. If you haven't watched Raw, I'm not going to say it. So, out of the 5 that Seymour and Belly know, who do you think wins the men's elimination chamber to go on to face Drew
Everybody in
McIntyre?
chat know who those 5 are because they definitely don't remember and need help remembering.
I was going to say, I'm trying. It's Randy, Cody,
Javon.
Hulk
Javon,
Hogan.
Trick.
Okay.
And that's all you know.
Was it Trick? Trick's in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all
And
you know for now.
who was the last one? The fifth one? I
No,
thought
we
you
don't
said
know.
four names.
We don't know.
Oh no,
so
you know
there's
5, no
4.
6.
We-
They're 4,
You've got the 5. You got the
Yeah,
5.
you got the 5.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I've got 5. Yeah.
Out of those 5,
can't
because you'll be watching Raw after this. We'll start with you, Beau. Who wins the chamber for the men, and who goes on to face Drew McIntyre at Elimination WrestleMania?
Do you want my prediction and who I want? So 2
Yes.
separate ones?
Yes, please.
All right.
Sure.
My prediction is they throw Cody down our throat again. And I want LA Knight to win it.
I threw up twice.
That's all right. You can get medication for that.
That was painful to listen to, and I thought we were friends. That whole Arcanine thing just sort of like got thrown out the window again. Damn
That's fair. That's
it.
Seymour, who do you want, and who do you think they're going to pick?
As any of the combination that doesn't include LA Knight and Cody Rhodes. Obviously, Javon's not going to win it. He's going to have another really big. He's going to be the guy that does the big moments. Think back to like 3 years ago when Montez was climbing the top of the chamber and then dropped from the middle, stuff like that. He's going to do the flippy cool stuff. There was LA Knight, Cody,
Randy, Javon,
fuck, Javon. Is that it?
and I'm having a look now. I
Trick.
know this. I know the other one that you don't know about. Trick Williams.
Trick. I would. Oh, well, so Trick's a heel. It's not going to be Trick. Yeah. Look, I would prefer it to be Randy just because I'm a massive Randy fan. I don't see it happening. As your new esteemed guest has just said, I believe it'll be Cody. And then in the lead up, I assume Jacob somehow gets involved and then becomes a triple threat, which I hate. I'd just much rather Cody versus Jacob at Mania, and you could have a plethora of people, up against Drew, but they've sort of screwed themselves and limited it to 2 people in this scenario. But yeah, no, out of all the people there, I'd probably prefer it to be Trick, which is crazy. I hate Trick.
Yeah,
I don't even. I hate Trick's song. I hate Trick's song.
especially after you ragged on his song last episode. during the
I hate his song. He is very talented. He's a very good heel. He's gotten so much better as a heel, might I add. I've watched him go from being Apollo Crews' bodyguard to the side piece of Carmelo to a really bad face to a really good heel. And he's done a great job. But against Drew, it's the only person that makes sense is Cody, unfortunately. Unless somehow someone from SmackDown somehow gets their way into the triple threat and wins it, because the three people in today's triple threat was it
Bronson Reed, Jey Uso, and who was the
fucking
original Grande Americana.
so Chad Gable, Bronson, and Jay. So
Yeah.
none of them three are winning it. I guess you could somewhat see Jay, because Jay and Drew have history, but at the same time, yuck. But unfortunately, Cody's the only one that makes sense.
Belly, who do you predict and who do you want?
Who I predict and who I want are the same, and Seymour won't like this, but I think and want Cody
Circumstances.
Rhodes to win.
There is circumstances to which I will accept.
I want Cody Rhodes to win. I want Jacob Fatu to get his way into the match. I want it to be a triple threat, and I want Cody to win the title at WrestleMania by turning heel at WrestleMania.
I wanted to turn heel before WrestleMania.
No, I think it happening at WrestleMania is a big WrestleMania moment, and that leads into the new era of Cody Rhodes being heel and me possibly liking him again because he's a heel, and I like all heels.
I like most heels.
Yeah, I've just been waiting for Cody heel is better than Cody face, always has been. The only time Cody face worked was when he was Stardust, and for 5 seconds when he came back.
Fucking Stardust.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Cody heel with some sort of faction behind him, the Nightmare Dynasty or whatever you want to call it. You got Arn Anderson working backstage. You can be manager, and you got all this. You got Ricky Starks in NXT, and all these other guys that he's worked with on the Indies and shit that are all in WWE now. Like, he can help bring some of the younger guys up and create
a heel faction with
Nightmare
Ricky
faction.
and Ethan would be fucking amazing.
That would be good, yeah.
Even though
I don't
hate
mind that
Ricky
idea,
Saints.
actually.
I don't like Ricky Saints at all, but he's such a pompous heel that it's great.
Yeah. And he can take all the pins in all the fucking matches.
Yeah, because I do not want Ethan to
Little
take a
bitch.
single pin for the rest of his life.
Beau, do you prefer Cody as a face or heel?
Prefer him to just not be there at all, to be honest.
Fair enough. Go back to AEW. Cody.
And we friends again.
I just honestly I'm over it. You know what I mean? I was over it when they shoved Roman down our face, down our throat for years, and this is seeming like it's a similar sort of thing, except he doesn't have a title yet. He's still the main man. So
yeah, they're good at that WWE. They did it with Cena, and they did it with
of course,
Rome,
yeah. So for
Cody.
me, I like that idea. I don't know which one of you just said it, but I like that idea of Cody having sort of revisiting that legacy thing again.
Yeah.
I don't mind that, but as proper heels would be really, really cool. I'd like to see how that
And
pans
then you
out. I like
can
that
get
idea a lot.
Cody heel versus babyface Orton.
That'd be
See,
that's what I thought they were going to do for Mania this
either,
year.
Yeah.
That should have been what they did for Mania this year. If they were going to get Cody to save wrestling, and then everyone's going to turn on him fan-wise, because that's what's happened. Randy can come in, win the chamber, go on. He's all of a sudden the bad guy because everyone loves Randy. That would have been.
I want to throw a curveball in here. As much as I don't think we're going to get it, but given that this is the last major before Mania, is it? It is.
Yes.
They normally have a crappy one. Probably going to throw a main event in there or something. I'm assuming. It used to be
no, but in terms of a major pay-per-view,
this would be like the last big lot.
Yeah.
I have some sneaky feeling that we can't spoil, can we?
No, we can't.
Spoilers for Raw.
We can't. We can't. I can't spoil Raw, but and this won't. But I have a sneaky feeling at some point we're going to see The Rock.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, whenever they seem to think that the ticket sales are plummeting, because they are, they think it's because of the product and no one's interested, but it's actually because it's $7 million for a back row seat.
Yeah.
they do love to pull the trump card of The Rock.
You're not wrong, but I mean, we have something that's brewing here. So obviously, it's not just this week; it happened last week as well with the crate.
That the box.
It's got to be Danhausen.
I don't like. Look, that could be bloody anybody with all the rumors that are going around, right? But if that was, I have my own theory as to who that is, which I can't discuss because it'll ruin Raw. But if that was something that they were entertaining as The Rock, then I wouldn't be against it.
I wouldn't be either. I'm kind of thinking it's more like Seymour said, Danhausen or Chris Jericho.
They've just they've just done 3 new copyrights.
Mhm.
One of them is like a Danhausen spec name. One of them is another name, which is very already been ID'd as an indie guy coming in.
We're not getting
Um,
names, or
I can't remember the names.
okay.
One of them was like Dan Von Dictions or something like that. It was one of those triple syllable names with the Von in the middle, and there was an indie fella who's a champion who'd already changed his name to that with WWE. So I feel like he's going to get in shit because he did it too early.
Well, his name is Donovan, so
Some like shit like that, yeah. But yeah, no, Danhausen has apparently been signed for WWE for a while, and this feels like a very Danhausen-y style thing. As much as I
Yeah.
would
I reckon
love
it's a
for
bit
it
of
to
a
be
flop though,
Jericho,
because they're building it up on both shows. As box who's it going to be? We know who Danhausen is because we watch a lot of wrestling, but for the casual wrestling fan, Danhausen pops out, and you're going to get the fucking Conor
he's going to
McGregor. Who the fuck
automatically
is that
become the
guy?
biggest heel in the world because he's not Chris Jericho, and people
Yeah,
are so
that's what I
over
mean.
not seeing Chris Jericho.
Everybody's expecting Chris Jericho, expecting something huge, and then it's this indie guy that only hardcore wrestling fans
Like
know.
who came out 30 in the Rumble? Gunther.
It's like
He was
the
already the biggest heel in
gobbledygooker, bro.
wrestling, and he got more fucking heelish because it wasn't Chris Jericho.
It could be the
here's
gobbledygooker.
my thing with that being, and I love Danhausen. Like I got introduced to him through the Major Wrestling Figure podcast, so it's been many years of him doing work with them at conventions and everything over the years, and then it is what it is. But if it was to be him, I just don't understand such big hype for him to do what exactly. If it's meant to be opened at Chamber, for what?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless it's like a secret entrant into the chamber, and it throws a curveball at all of us.
What, another entry?
Remember when they did it? They started the chamber with 3 people that year.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I mean,
They
it's on the
started
cards,
it with
of course.
Seth, Finn, and I think it was Miz, which ended up being the main of the triple threat at Mania.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Yeah, could be.
I would love that because right now I'm not excited.
Yeah,
Yep,
I'm
fair.
kind of not excited.
I don't mind that idea, but I'm also old school and like, so this guy just gets into the elimination chamber by being in a box for 4 weeks, or
Yeah,
like,
that's what I mean. The story doesn't make
Brock
sense.
Lesnar, Money in the Bank.
Like,
Yeah.
that's
Wins
why I'm
it
like,
by
for
coming
what,
out and pushing
you know?
Mustafa Ali off the ladder.
True. So we all think
Yeah.
it's gonna be Cody. I think it's gonna be Cody, but I would love to see Orton win this. Love to see him get another chance at WrestleMania against Drew. There is history between Orton and Drew, so I really like to see that match again. Now, Belly and Seymour, do you know all the entrants for the women's?
I don't
If
know,
there
do
was
we?
one
I can't
today,
remember.
no.
There was
Yes,
not one.
correct.
Was there one today? Okay, I will
There
not
was.
say the one that been put in, but the 5 that are in at the moment is Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and a surprising one, Kiana James. We'll start with you, Belly. Who do you think and who do you want?
I was happy with Kiana winning the qualifying match because I think she's very talented on the mic and in the ring. Very strong. She's like a power lifter background. I definitely should win though, but I don't know. Who's the champion? I can't remember now.
I can't spoil Raw. I can't spoil Raw, so I can't say who they're going after.
She's either gonna go after Stephanie or
Jade.
Jade if she wins.
Yeah, look, I'd like Asuka to win. I'd like to see Asuka versus Stephanie. That'd be an interesting matchup. But I think it's going to be Liv and Stephanie more likely.
Yeah,
And
I feel like
who do I want to see? Who do I want to see get injured against Jade? I don't know. Probably none of them.
Charlotte?
Eh,
She's not in the match.
yeah, Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Asuka is probably going to be. I'd like it to be Asuka. It's probably going to be Rhea. I don't like the fact that she's got a tag team title and she's still going for single title. It's just too much going on. I understand that she's the biggest, like, one of the biggest names in the division, period, male or female. But yeah, I'm also not a fan of Io and Rhea's tag team, but mostly because I'm a biggest Rhea fan, being an Australian and shit, obviously. But I want her to be heel. I want heel Rhea back. I feel like she's run a course as a babyface and she's very stale at the moment. So I'd like them to somehow get to Rhea versus Io at WrestleMania. It doesn't have to be a title involved. They lose the tag team titles. Rhea turns heel. That's the WrestleMania match I want to see. And so that's why I'd want her not to win the chamber. I'd want Asuka to probably win the chamber.
Fair enough. Seymour?
Yeah, I want to see like a 4 or 5-way tag match at Mania for the women's titles because they've built it up so much. You've
There's a lot
got
of women's tag
Nia
teams
and all
out
them, Nia and Lash, who I would want to win it. You got Brie and Nikki. Obviously, they're going to be somewhat involved. Them being involved in a Mania match, this magnitude elevates the tag titles more again, even if I'm not, fans. Then you've got Rhea and Io, and then
Charlotte and
I
Asuka?
mean, I guess Julia and Kiana could be involved, but I'd much rather see Julia defend the US title. So like, there's enough tag teams in there to have a tag team match at Mania for the women's tag team titles, and if they're not going to do that, it's pointless putting the tag titles on Rhea and Io because the whole idea is to get eyes on that product. So all of them are involved in the tag team titles, except for Tiffany. So it's the only one that makes sense. But at the same time, Tiffany is so stale as a babyface. I
Yeah,
hate
she
it.
needs to turn heel as well. Hashtag turn heel.
I mean, there's a reason that we're called the Turn Heel podcast. Everyone should turn heel. But Tiffany in NXT was so good at her heel role
She's a
that
natural
she
heel.
got
She's a
over.
blonde girl.
That's why she got so popular in the main roster.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's I guess it's gonna be Tiffany. If they were none of them were involved in the tag team title picture, I'd rather it be Alexa. But as long as whoever the fuck it is, Jade doesn't win, I don't care because I'm assuming it's gonna be Jade.
Beau, you can say the winner of today's match, but don't actually announce it if you think they're going to win it. But who do you
What?
think's going to win it and who you want to? He's not going to reveal the name of the winner who's qualifying, if you know what I mean.
Oh, was he saying I think the person that won tonight's going to be
Yeah,
the winner? That's what
that's
you
what
mean.
I mean.
Yeah, okay. I'm with you.
Yeah. I will say this. I think they're gonna again shove Tiffany Stratton down our throats, which for some people they'd be really into that stuff. So but I want the winner of tonight's or today's
Raw.
match to win it.
I
And I can't
Is
go any
in the
further.
qualifying
I
match
can't go
today.
any further as to why or anything because no spoilers.
Who is in the qualifying match today?
You got Raquel Rodriguez. You got fuck
Io.
Io, and there was one other.
It was
So-
Kyrie.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
So we all know who's going through from that then.
Well, you
Because-
don't.
Anyway, let's stop breaking down spoilers, Seymour, and move on.
Yeah, but I just feel like I don't feel like they're going to use this moment. I mean, everyone has mentioned already. Asuka's my favorite female wrestler on the modern roster, right? But I don't think they do that. I think it's too early for Kiana James. Alexa Bliss again tied up in tag. Rhea tied up in tag. Tiffany is their little golden girl Barbie, so I think they just go with that.
Yeah, she's going to be the new Charlotte. I'm going to hate her.
She's
and I don't
horrible.
want to hate her.
And
Well,
I think she's super talented. I hate her babyface gimmick because she's not a babyface.
I can't stand her at all.
she shouldn't have done.
That's
what
because she's a
Liz Pfizer.
natural heel.
Nah, just very cringe, I think. And I don't use that word much because I wasn't born in 2010. But yeah.
You say all these words, and all I'm hearing is she's the perfect heel.
I don't even think I'd like her as a heel, to be honest. I can't. There's something about when you just watch whether it's a character in a movie or a
Tom
character
Cruise.
on TV or a wrestler, whatever it's going to be, or
Roman
a
Reigns for
player
me
in footy,
still.
right? I can't do it.
Tom Cruise. I can't do Tom Cruise movies.
Yeah,
He's
it's
I don't know why. I just can't do it.
See what I mean? And you don't have a pinpoint answer for it. Like Roman Reigns, I could not stand him in any other role than being that powerhouse guy in the Shield. Everything after that, no good.
I'm not even a fan of Bloodline Roman.
That's what I mean. Everything after the Shield, I didn't think it suited him. But it is what it is. That's why wrestling's so subjective,
He's the third best member of the Shield.
I know I'm a bit
Sorry,
biased.
he's
best
the
member.
he's the fifth best member of the Shield because Jason Jordan and Kurt Angle have been
Kurt
members of the
Angle.
Shield.
Actually, sixth best because Triple H did a house show as the Shield. So
He did too.
yeah, so
I mean,
he's not even further down.
Braun Strowman probably did something with him as well, so we'll just go back another one.
I kind of agree with you with Beau. They're gonna shove Tiffy down our throats again. But I would like to see the winner of today's qualifier going through because of certain reasons we cannot talk about.
Correct.
Next up, I was going to talk about the box, but we've already spoke about that. So we're moving on to Becky Lynch her first ever single match in 10 years. Miss AJ Lee for the Intercontinental Championship. Seymour, we'll start with you.
I mean, I think this is setting up for them two versing each other at Mania. So I would expect Becky to win in some sort of outlandish way. Doing something heelish. Cheating her way to victory, and then, AJ Lee can then go on to Mania and all that sort of stuff, even though I'd probably prefer seeing a match showcasing the women that are in that picture, because there's so many talented females around there that the reason they put the title on these good established people is to elevate it. So if they're going to just do AJ Lee now, and then AJ Lee can maybe be involved in a multi-person match at Mania with Becky and say the likes of Natty and that silly blonde that won it off Becky not long ago.
Maxine Dupree.
Yeah, that horrible one. But I don't see that happening. That's what I would want to happen, and then Natty can win it. That way AJ Lee doesn't have to lose twice. But yeah, I see them doing AJ Lee Becky at Mania as well. So I expect Becky to win in a dodgy way here.
Beau?
My theory is this. I think AJ wins it, and we still get Becky and AJ at Mania, but I think somehow that Bailey's going to inject herself into this.
That'll be a cool way to do it. I would love
and
to
I
see
think
that.
it's going to be a three-way thing with that, and then Bailey wins it at Mania, because I just don't like the nostalgia of having AJ Lee back has been good. I thought their back and forth the other day on the mic wasn't too bad, but I actually enjoyed that. That was pretty cool. But I think Becky's coming towards the end of this title run. I think AJ Lee is not really deserving to hold it really, really long time or anything like that. So I think they just give it to AJ, get the pop for her at Elimination Chamber, and then we'll have a three-way with Bailey, who they then give that opportunity, as you were saying before, because Bailey's no rookie herself.
Yeah.
I think they then elevate the title afterwards with Bailey versus potentially Lyra or someone else. I don't know. But I think it'll be Bailey that is the one they use to prop up someone else.
See, that's why I want to see a multi-woman, because I forgot about Bailey and Lyra altogether. Whether or not they're going to be involved in the tag team picture still. But both of them are so fucking good. My
Lyra's very good.
Lyra will be the title picture after Mania.
She's one of my favorites.
She's very good.
She'll be challenging the main title after Mania, I dare say.
Yeah, I mean the other thing I was going to say afterwards is that Bailey wins it, and then whether or not if they don't give it to Lyra and we get a Bailey versus Lyra thing, then it'll be Lyra injected into main events. That's what I think is going to end up happening.
100%. After watching that Unreal documentary and watching how
Oh, yeah.
upset she was after not performing fantastic,
Yeah.
the match wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination.
Standards.
Yeah, she's
She
a
got pissed
throwback
off at
superstar.
everybody that was trying to tell her it was all right. She wasn't
Yeah.
having it. Seeing her
Yeah.
come up and go, and she's like, "No, tell me it was shit because it was shit."
Mhm. She
No,
couldn't
I think
focus on the positives,
she's
which I think is
genuinely
the
talented.
makings of a great superstar.
Yeah, she's genuinely talented. I think very, very good. The one thing I'm just realizing now, we don't have a. Do we not have an intercontinental men's match?
We do not at the moment.
No, but that's because Dom's only just come back from injury and he's defending against Vikingo in Mexico around about the same time, I think.
And Penta next. Is it?
He's
got
got
someone. next week.
he's got a match against Penta soon.
Okay, right. I didn't know when that was. I might have missed the actual announcement for
Actually,
it.
no,
I,
that
just, I
might be
saw it
Elimination
online and I was
Chamber.
like,
No, that's
all
on
right,
Raw.
is it
Sorry,
happening or
yeah, it's
not?
on Raw.
That's the
Yeah, okay.
Raw after Chamber.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Alright,
All right,
so
because I've got a theory behind that as well. Well, more it's more of a want, but I have a theory.
we'll
No,
get that
Finn
in a
Balor is
second.
not versing Dominic Mysterio at
No,
WrestleMania for the IC title. He
No,
wins
no.
the
It's
Elimination
not
Chamber.
Finn. No, it's not Finn for the IC. It's someone else.
Seymour, we get to that match in a minute. Belly, your
Yeah.
prediction and want for the IC title. Women's.
I agree that I think AJ will win. Purely, well, I'd like her to win if they're planning on doing a match at WrestleMania, because old school, once again, if Becky wins, AJ hasn't got a leg to stand on for getting a rematch, and Becky has made it very clear that, fuck this bitch, I'm over her. So if Becky wins, AJ shouldn't get another match. But if AJ wins, then obviously Becky wants the rematch, which isn't a guaranteed thing anymore, but they seem to do it all the time anyway. But she'll want the rematch. And they might put a stipulation in it, maybe. I don't know what stipulation, but I can see them putting a stipulation in it to add to the card to make it more intriguing. I don't think they'd do a Hell in a Cell. I don't really want to see that, but I could see being some sort of stipulation possibly at WrestleMania. I like the idea of Bailey being involved because I'm a big Bailey fan, but I don't think that'll happen. I just think it'll be AJ and Becky again, and I'll just keep building on that story. Maybe put a stipulation in.
If AJ wins, I can see them doing a multi-person match. Because the face will want to, she said that she wants to verse so many talented people that are there. So if Lyra is to win in Chicago, fucking Lyra, AJ is to win in Chicago, which will be a big moment. I can see her having the multi-person IC title match that everyone loves because it's always steals the show.
They're going to do it with one of the two women's titles, right? The same as
Yeah.
they'll do it with one of the two men's titles. That seems to be
That
a
has to
going
be the
thing
IC
with
in that
WrestleMania now. That the mid card title gets an 8-man ladder match or something along those lines.
I love it.
That's just like and it's a throwback to when Money in the Bank was at WrestleMania, and that's why people love it, because that was always to start the show. It was always the Money in the Bank when it first came into it, and then they started bringing it back. They did it with Zack Ryder and the IC title, and everybody just loves that chaos, and anything can happen.
Yeah,
and you want
And
as
they can
many
throw it on.
talented
They
people.
can throw it
in
on
Mania
somebody
as they want.
random that you're not expecting, because they can always lose it again the next week, something of the world. But it makes for a cool moment.
I am going to talk about Mania also after we do the last match, but I see again AJ Lee winning in Chicago again, multi-man match including Becky Lynch, Bailey, Lyra, Natty gets involved and Maxine Dupree. I reckon that's the match at Mania, or just because Scrap Daddy is getting yelled at by Bailey and
Roxanne Perez, don't forget about her.
and Roxanne Perez, yes, of course.
Also,
But,
on Natty winning a multi-woman match, if she creates a faction and has some women actually join her with this new edgy gimmick she's got going, because I love Natty, and I've been calling for this gimmick for Natty for 10 fucking years. Like, she can legitimately hurt all these women, besides probably Shayna Baszler. But she's legit a badass and fucking knows how to out wrestle all these women in WWE, and she's never used that as a gimmick. It just fucking baffles me.
on to
Agreed.
onto the main event of Elimination Chamber, or probably the main event, probably not. CM
No, I
Punk
can see it being
versus
it. It's the biggest match on the card because it's CM Punk in Chicago.
yeah, CM Punk versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm sorry, Seymour, I don't see Finn Balor winning here because they've already made the announcement of Roman Reigns versus CM Punk at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't think they go back on that because here's the reason why. Ticket sales for WrestleMania at the moment are nowhere near what they were last year. Nowhere near. They need big name people to get ticket sales up for Las Vegas. They should have kept it in New Orleans. This is my opinion. Because it's so hard to get to Las Vegas internationally. Okay? So I see CM Punk winning this match, but I do have a theory, and shout out to the Wrestling Cool is Cool podcast, that somehow, some way, the Mania match turns into a triple threat match with Finn Balor in it. Seymour, I'm saving you for last. Beau, what do you think happens?
Oh yeah, CM Punk wins. I mean, what you just said is pretty spot on, but I think they've dropped the ball there. Like I don't think a net or having this entire Roman versus CM Punk thing and then having a match at Chamber, it doesn't make sense. I mean, I know it has to happen, but it's just so see through that you'd have to be an idiot not to see it. Now, if they do go back on it and Finn wins it, Finn and Roman is such a bad match for me. That's what I think.
Agreed. Belly?
Yeah, I think CM Punk wins. Pretty much no doubt in my mind, but I do agree with what you said, Johnny, and I think I have been pushing this agenda for weeks and weeks, and Seymour refuses to get on the bandwagon because he doesn't want to be hurt when it doesn't happen. But I think they're trying. They could go back on it, but they've WWE been very good with this lately. Just putting little teasers out just to see how the WWE universe reacts to try and gauge whether they should or shouldn't do something. Like I didn't notice on Raw last week that Rusev, when he came into the general manager's office, he actually had a Rusev Day shirt under the button-up fucking vest thing he had on, and they showed a tiny bit of it. Now the internet's talking about it, and they can kind of decide by what the internet's saying about it whether they should actually go with turning Rusev into a babyface or stick with his current gimmick. I think they're trying to turn Finn Balor into Daniel Bryan. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get him to be over. You got Roman, who's the forever champion for the last 5+ years, and then you got CM Punk, who quote unquote best in the world, thrown back into it because Seth got injured, and you know, and they're trying to put in Finn Balor, even though he's coming from a heel faction, he's kind of been pushing himself away from the heelishness and being more of a baby face and saying, I don't need your help, I'll do some own. I feel like they're trying to get the audience behind Finn, and they're going to try and slide him into that match one way, shape, or form, and then have him win it at Mania over them two. Because as I think most wrestling fans, real wrestling fans like all of us guys, not the part-time fans that watch the product, would much rather Finn Balor go out of WrestleMania with the championship than either of those two other guys.
Agreed. Now to the number one Finn Balor fan in this studio and possibly the world, Seymour.
The reason I say that's not happening is because we all predict the triple threat match for the WWE title. They're not going to do them both as triple threats.
The fact that it's 2 days now makes it more likely they can do two triple threats, because it's not like you're getting two triple threats on the same night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, but we expect multiple like multi-man matches. Like you,
It's WrestleMania. They do that
I'm
anyway
not
because
getting
they're
my
trying to get
hopes
as many
up.
people on the
As
card
you
as they
said,
can.
I've been hurt many times before. Finn Balor is rightfully nicknamed at the moment Pin Balor because it's all he does is just take pins from fucking everybody. They missed their opportunity when it was him versus Roman at the Royal Rumble and he came out as the Demon. That was the opportunity. The fans were behind him then. They missed the opportunity when he was going up against Seth as the heel. When Damien had the briefcase, they missed that opportunity. I don't think Finn's stock is as high as it should be in the wrestling community. He's still got his big fans, and a lot of people know how talented he is, and the fact that he's got like negative 15 body percent fat, or however that sentence goes. Yeah, unfortunately, he loses, and he probably versus Dom at Mania, not being added into this match. As much as I would love for it to happen, I would give lots of things that I own up to see Finn Balor hold that title properly, because I wasn't around when he won it at SummerSlam and had to relinquish it the next day. I became a fan after the fact, when he was at his lowest, when he was, struggling to get wins against mid carders before getting placed in a triple threat match and losing again at Mania. So yeah, as much as I would rather see Finn Balor win the heavyweight title, it's just not going to happen, and it makes me sad.
We don't want
Anyway.
to be sad for too long, so we're going to quickly move on. Yeah, I would love to see the Daniel Bryan situation again from WrestleMania 30, I believe it was. Get the underdog in, get the win. Because CM Punk's not going to be around full time, even though he say he will be. Roman Reigns is now part time. We all know this. We need a champion on Raw, like a Drew McIntyre, and I think Finn Balor fits that uh, fold immensely, especially if he brings out the demon as well at a couple of his title defenses.
I mean, a demon entrance at Mania would be phenomenal, but I'd much rather it be Finn.
It'd be good. It'd be good theater. I don't think it makes sense though.
I'd rather it be just Finn.
Both?
Yeah.
I on that note of just Finn, it would be great, and I would hope that at some point they split this Judgment Day up before I lose my mind.
Okay.
No, Judgment Day is going to be a forever faction.
It's absolute dog shit now. It's
will
done.
come back
They're
in
flogging a
5 years.
dead horse.
And
they
"Oh,
will
Judgment Day's
chop
cool."
and change members. It'll be similar to, my opinion is it'll be similar to the Bullet Club over in Japan.
God.
Members will chop and change. They'll be for different leaders at different times. But that's what because we all know Triple H is a massive, massive fan of the Bullet Club. He's been
Can we not say anything is similar to the Bullet Club? Thanks.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near the Bullet Club. Let me get that clear. It is
Thank you very much.
nowhere near the Bullet Club. But I think that is the idea behind it.
I hope not, because it literally right now flogging a dead horse.
Yeah, the
But
reason though,
everyone
you can't have a faction in WWE that goes for that long because it's on TV every week. It's not the Bullet Club where you see a New Japan, show once a month or once every couple of months, and then they show up in another round of promotion, and you just see little splits and splatters. This is a weekly show. You don't need to see a faction every week for fucking 5 years. You get over it. It runs itself dry.
We're already in like the
Judgment Day
5th or
doesn't
6th
have-
rendition of it, though.
The Judgment Day doesn't have the pull that the Bullet Club had. It's been around for ages. It's still not even a marketable brand. Bullet Club definitely was. People are still rocking those T-shirts to this day,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
If it was at that sort of level or that sort of draw, I could understand it because people associate themselves. It's no different to associating yourself with NWO back in the day, right?
Yeah,
You
I
would-
think the only problem is
You would
the
have
amount of
this
people who've been
connection to
injured
that
in it.
faction. This Judgment Day I mean, I rarely hear anybody say, "Yeah, I'm a Judgment Day person" or "I'm a Judgment Day guy." No one gives a shit, bro. You know what I mean?
No,
Like it doesn't have that.
That's why the theme song wasn't voted into the top 30 because no one gives a shit.
Also,
That's
what theme song are you going to vote for? That's my problem. I mean, me and Belly have this issue a lot. You hear someone's song and you have to like think, "Oh, who's that?" Because everyone's going to do that fucking song every second fucking week.
Yeah,
the
you're
only
right.
rendition of Judgment Day's theme song, which was good, was their very first one when it was Edge, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley. The Ultimate
Yes.
Bridge version.
Yeah, I agree.
That is
They're
the only
amazing.
one I would have voted for.
That's been the
Only
problem.
one.
And I feel like anytime Judgment Day starts to get momentum, either someone in the Judgment Day gets injured or someone included in the Judgment Day feud gets injured.
Mhm.
So that also hasn't helped. I mean, if
To
Liv
me,
had
it
been there for
died
the entire
when you
12
put
months,
fucking
she'd be
when you put our
fantastic.
truth involved in it. It
It
died
also-
then.
yeah,
R-Truth,
it
like
died then.
R-Truth, like they beat him up and shit. But if they wanted to legitimize that faction, that should have been how he left the company. They should have killed him. Like, you know what I mean?
True.
They were just like laughing at him and going, "Oh yeah." It's just like you don't take it seriously.
Especially when you think of the people that have been in the Bullet Club. Tamatonga, Finn Balor,
The list is
AJ
actually
Styles,
deceivingly
Jay
long.
White, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, well, there's a new pro wrestler that's currently in the Bullet Club.
no, he's
Robbie
not.
Eagles.
The Bullet Club is dead.
Bullet Club has officially broken up.
Okay, well,
altogether.
he
Yeah.
was in the Bullet Club until it
Yeah.
died. I didn't know it died.
Yeah, it
No,
died
so
in the last month.
Robbie Eagles was a part of the Bullet Club. Then he
Yes.
switched allegiance to the United Kingdom with Will Ospreay. Happened in
What a
the New
bitch.
Japan when in Sydney. All right, so WrestleMania coming up soon as well. We will have a show before that as well. But ticket sales, and it has been announced that no venue in the 50-mile radius of the stadium, Allegiant Stadium, cannot show WrestleMania in their venue, even if they paid the license. WWE are struggling with the ticket sales for WrestleMania this year, and they're pulling out all the stops to stop people watching it at bars, hotels, and all that in Las Vegas. Beau,
I learned that off the UFC.
I'm coming to you first. What do you think the problem is with these ticket sales? Are they too much, or is the product not good enough?
Who are we going to first?
Beau.
Oh, me. So
Yeah.
on that note, they've done the same thing for Chamber. I don't know if you mentioned that.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I only knew about WrestleMania.
Okay, yeah. So they've as of yesterday, they've announced the same rule for Chamber. So I think it's a bit of both. We do know the prices have gone up, like that's no secret. But I also think it's part of the product as well. We can never really know that 100% because you can't vox pop an entire global audience. But I think it's a bit of both. I think we it's just blatantly obvious. Just to put it simply, that the product is not there. Even last WrestleMania, I never, that feeling before Mania, it was like the grand final of the footy or something. Everyone's excited regardless of whether your team's playing or not, sort of thing. And there's this excitement brewing.
Yep.
I never felt that last year. I don't think that anyone is feeling that right now. And I said on a different podcast at the end of last year, I said that the lead up to the Rumble has to be amazing. The lead up to Chamber has to be amazing because everything that was happening at the time was just making the product really stale. It was boring. You didn't know when it was going to pop. And they had their opportunity to do that at the start of this year, even after the Rumble, to be generous. And it's still stale. There is no Mania in the air feel. So I think, yes, the product is suffering, but at the same time, they're doing themselves no favors by upping the price when that is the case. You would lower the price and try to get more people in, but we know they're never going to do that.
Apparently, the ticket prices have plummeted 47%. It was either the ticket prices or the ticket sales have dropped 47%.
If it is okay, if it's the sales, if it's the prices, you have to look at which tickets as well. Because, for example, Saudi Arabia for the what was in Saudi just not long ago? Oh, Rumble, right?
Yeah.
So I looked at my mate was going to head over there, right? And he mentioned ticket prices to me and all the rest of it. And he goes, they're actually quite good, man. So I go online to see what this quite good is. Yeah, okay. Ringside's 5.5K. The hard cam was like 7.5K. And then these good prices were right up the back for about 250 Australian dollars. And there was even ones that were about 100 Australian dollars. Yeah, who the hell wants to sit out there? So this is what I always look at when I see that, prices have dropped and companies, even regardless whether it's wrestling or anything else, like any type of show, concerts, whatever, you have to look at what tickets are they slashing the prices on, because if it's those ones at the back, then it really holds no merit.
Exactly. I feel like it's just another way to get people to click onto it to go, oh shit, it's cheaper now. Better get it
Yeah, it's
before
cheaper, but I can't see shit. I may as well stay home.
It's also like a product that they invested so much into how much they need to sell to make a good profit. And once they've reached X amount of number, that might only be 50% full. Once they've reached that, they've made the budget that they need to make, and then any sale after that is profit. So if they cut the tickets in half, they're still making 100% profit on those tickets.
They need to get to that threshold first, and I don't think they have.
I
agree with you in the aspect of last year's Mania going into it felt flat.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't super invested in any of the matches.
I'm telling you now, between now, between the end of Chamber, so the Raw after, and everything that leads up to Mania, if these guys don't have some wild stuff planned to get people amped up, this Mania could suffer a lot of backlash. 100%. And I'm talking the sort of backlash that basically forces them into decisions like it did with Truth.
Mm-hmm. So
I agree.
The last year they forced the storyline of the triple threat for the women's title.
Yep.
Like Bianca being forced into it didn't make any sense. She shouldn't have won the Chamber at all. I wasn't excited for Tiffy versus Charlotte. I wasn't excited for Gunther versus Jay. I mean, the triple threat Punk, Rollins, and Reigns had probably the best story in the entirety of WrestleMania. But at the same time, me being a massive non-fan of Roman and Punk, I didn't really give two shits.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I get you.
But none of the other matches I cared about. Like, I can't think of any of the matches themselves on the day were fantastic because the people that were in them were fantastic, but the story is meaningless. And I feel like they're going down a very similar path this year because they've done nothing with the roster. It's the same fucking people. All they've done is change Roman from SmackDown to Raw.
Yeah, the storylines have been lackluster as hell.
Yeah, the storylines are shit, and the characters haven't changed in the last 18 to 2 years. You got babyface Cody, you got heel, you got Roman being part-time showing up and not really being anything. You got CM Punk saying he's the best in the world and cutting promos like he does it every week. Everything's just the same every fucking week. Mm-hmm. They need to fucking flip some shit on its head. And me and Seymour have been saying this for ages. They need to have a proper old-fashioned draft.
100%.
Just flip everything around. Everything's just the same.
Great idea. Great idea.
Well, they said they were doing the draft 18 months, 2 years ago. I think it was supposed to be after Mania when Cody finished his story. That was how they were going to separate all of the stories that just happened. And that would have worked perfectly because we don't need Cody Roman anymore. We don't need fucking anything. You had all this opportunity to do everything. And the first storyline they do out of it was probably the most entertaining one, and you knew AJ wasn't going to win with the Mark Henry storyline.
Yeah.
So they fumbled the ball then, and then they just continued to fumble. And now I think with all the injuries that have happened, because Seth's injured, fucking Ron Breakker getting injured, that was Raw's way forward. Now I think they've just panicked and gone back to square one, which is Roman. And I feel like Finn being involved in something is just because they need something to fill that gap, and they put Roman into everything when realistically, without a Seth injury at the start of the year or whenever that happened, I think this year is Roman versus Seth at Mania. I feel like that was the original plan, and then Seth got injured, so they had to split up him from the Vision, and then it was going to be him versus the Vision, and then Breaker got injured, so now he couldn't do that, and it's just one big conglomerate fuck around. But they're just going to go back to what they know, and that is throwing the same people in our face.
Yep, and that's why I think the Chamber's going to be exactly that.
Yep.
I am sick of Triple H coming out every 3 months ago. It is now time for a new era in the WWE.
I would never get sick of seeing Triple H.
It's going to be epic, Epic.
It's going to be. I love Triple H. I love seeing Triple H. You know this, Beau, because of the Triple H guy at remixmania. But I do not want to hear him say again, it's time for a new era when you're doing the same stuff over and over and over again.
Hey, listen. At this point, I wouldn't bloody be surprised if we see a bloody ad next week that says Veer Mahan is coming.
You know what? I just thought about something, and I think it's going to make belly cream. The person in the box does get added to the Chamber, and it's Cross.
Nah, won't happen.
I want it to happen, but it's not going to happen.
I'll tell you why it's not happening.
It's all work.
It's not.
I understand that people can cancel indie shows if they are locked in with a WWE contract or AEW, whatever it might be. But the way in which he's been booked and who he has replaced at a lot of these indie shows coming up, including WSW, I don't see that happening.
Oh yeah, crosses
Okay.
everywhere. It's if he wasn't
He's making
returning
a
at the Rumble, he
killing right
was.
now.
He's MLW champion. He's
Yeah.
doing the blood sport shit all the time. He's got shows in Australia. He's
But don't get me
killing
wrong.
it.
Like you can drop all that in 2 seconds. Cardona did.
I don't think he will though.
But yeah, I'm the same. I agree with you. I don't say it's too early. Like I don't understand. That wouldn't make sense to me.
Great. And
I'd
just
lose a lot
on
of tickets.
WSW, night 1 in Melbourne is sold out. Night 2's nearly sold out as well. So
Yeah.
if you want to get a ticket, get your ticket soon, or you'll miss out. But
Your shout.
I'm not shouting nothing unless I win the lotto, and then we can all go to WrestleMania. But Seymour and Belly, I'm going to talk to both about Remix Mania. If you have any questions, please jump in. But Beau, thank you for joining us today on today's podcast. But let's go into how Remix Mania came a thing. What
It's
did
$5 a
you?
question, just so you know.
How did Remix Mania become a thing?
Had the idea many, many years ago. And, first of all, thanks for having me on to be able to talk about this. I appreciate it a lot.
You're welcome.
I was probably about 18 or 19, and as I said, I was a DJ for 20 plus years, and I always said to my mates, I go, wouldn't it be cool if you just, at the time it was John Cena's track, right? We said, wouldn't it be cool if you could just drop Basic Thugonomics out of nowhere, right?
Yep.
And we ended up doing it at a show once, and everyone went mental. And I go, man, this would be sick. I go, just let's look into this in the future. Yeah, we never looked into it in the future. Well, we did theoretically, but what is it? It's 20 years later, and I said to my mate, I've got an idea. And obviously, I don't know if you guys are familiar with what happens overseas. There's a lot of these events overseas.
Yeah, Remix Rumble. Yep.
There's Remix Rumble. There's Sweet Chin Disco. There's Attitude Nightclub and all this sort of stuff. And look, they're all very, very established and all the rest of it. But these things started popping up in my feed, and I said, "No, I've had a gutful. I'm just going to try it." And I did a bit of research to see what had been done in Australia, more so Melbourne at the time. And I saw that someone had tried it, and I didn't really have any reviews as to how well it went. But I thought if it didn't happen again, it mustn't have gone well. So we thought, maybe there's no market for it. I don't know. But just made the decision. I said to my mate, I go, hey, I'm doing this. If you want to jump on board, and shout out to Rebs as well. He's the one of the DJs for us. I've known him since 20 years ago as well. So got him on board. He's a big wrestling fan. I said, let's just give it a go. If it flops, it flops. Big deal. We can say we tried it. If it goes well, then hey, let's keep doing them. So we did that first one, and obviously you were there, so you know exactly what it was like. And we thought it was a whole bunch of fun, and everyone at the end of the night just kept saying, keep doing them. And we asked you guys, do you want more? And people kept saying yes. So here we are, coming up to the fourth event, and I think my most enjoyable one was Countdown so far. That was just a whole bunch of fun, but that's how it started. And then since then, ideas have kind of just developed, and we're just banking up all these new things that we're going to do in the future. And yeah.
So La Di Da is the venue. For anyone who doesn't know, the little champagne room off to the side of it. Has there been any plans to maybe moving it somewhere else, or is it going to stay around the La Di Da area?
We have a really good relationship with the venue now. So business wise, and also in terms of what they're able to provide if we do decide to go one step bigger. Unfortunately, for us, that's somewhat in our hands, but not all in our hands, because we need to be able to attract probably another, let's say 50 people or so to the events. And then we say, okay, well, now we've got a solid base of people that don't fit in that room anymore, and we're going to look to move it to the main room. So yeah, I do want to move it into the main room at some point. When that'll be, I have no idea. But it all depends at the end of the day, which is the same for any starting out night, and has been for years. when you start to see that you're growing and there's room for it, then yeah, you approach a venue and go, hey, we want the other room, and then from there, I mean, everybody benefits. It's not just us. We're able to do new things with the production. We're able to do new things in terms of introducing, I guess, full-time MCs and things like this, and we're I wouldn't say we're limited, but we are in that small room to being able to do certain things. So with a full blown stage and everything else, that's what we want eventually. But we also know that baby steps for now, and yeah,
Now you do have Belly, who is from Newcastle, in this studio at the moment. Try to get a free flight off you, but I know it's not going to happen. But have you thought about? Did we have anyone from interstate last time? Because I did hear a rumor there was someone who came from interstate.
yeah. So we've had people drive from Albury. We've had people drive from Warrnambool. We had there was one person I spoke to that came from New South Wales, but somewhere else. I don't know exactly where else. It wasn't the border like Albury, or it was somewhere else. So that's really good to know, because it's awesome to hear that people are willing to travel to come and party with other wrestling heads. You know what I mean? We do get a lot of comments on social media of people asking us to bring it to other states, whether it's Sydney, Brisbane. We've had people ask for New Zealand, all this sort of thing. And fact of the matter is, in order to tour a night like this, you need to make it successful in your hometown first.
Yeah.
And the more, like I say, we can go back to what I was saying before. The more we can get through the doors at La Di Da and build up the brand and so on and so forth. Not just with people. I mean, we've got other ideas in terms of how we're going to build the brand, but for now, like I say, baby steps. But I think we will. I think the name's getting out there a lot more now. Once we get to that point, we can think about maybe taking it to other states. But I'm not gonna bullshit. Yeah, there's a lot of people that ask us, bring it to other states, and I'd love to, but hey, that costs money as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. Have you been in touch? Obviously, this Thursday night, there's a meeting going on with a certain group of people from
Yes.
Instagram, which I did announce last time that there will be the Remix Champions.
Yep.
Have you been approached by any wrestlers, independent Australian wrestlers, especially here in Melbourne, to come to these nights?
I had one reach out some time ago, and then never heard from him ever again. And since then, no. But we've reached out to a few people since.
Yeah.
We have two that are very keen. However, they can't do certain times, like Mania weekend. It's very hard.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let up on who they are, because eventually we will get them in. But they have commitments on.
Okay.
In other countries for different promotions overseas during Mania weekend.
Yeah.
So whilst they're local to us, they do work overseas as well. So, like I say, we do have a couple in the works at the moment. We do have a rather big name as well that we're potentially going to have at some point this year. But it's all about timing. When we first started this, I wanted to kind of do something with WSW and see if we can become at the start, like, sorry to go back on how it all started, but
Yeah.
the whole idea is that we were going to make it the official after party for WSW.
That was
But
my
for anyone that
question.
knows how they run, you just simply can't do that when they're at the show, back to the room, fly out the next morning.
Yeah,
So
they're so busy as an independent, it's ridiculous.
yeah. So my history, I don't want to go into it too much, because we're just going to end up being here forever. But for about 4 years, I used to design trading cards for former WWE superstars, AEW talent, I guess, and a lot of indie people. And during that time, I was able to work with a fair few freaking big names, if I'm allowed to say that. And
You can
I was
swear here.
able to.
It's a safe space.
Sorry.
You can swear here. It's a safe space.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say, I didn't want to like make it sound all hoity-toity and stuff, you know. But
Brag to us. We want to hear. We're living through you.
I don't do the brag thing very well. I try to avoid it. Yeah, and look, there's a couple people I still talk to this day, you know, every now and again. I used to talk to them very frequently, talking daily and weekly and all the rest of it. And there is a couple people. I'm happy to say one. So I would approach.
Make me happy.
Sorry.
Make me happy.
I don't know how happy he'll be. He's a great dude. He really is behind, like, off camera and everything. He's just an absolute ripper guy. I'd easily be able to get Cardona down, but the problem is that exactly that fly in, fly out sort of thing after every single show.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to get Brian in as well. I'd love to get Hornswoggle, people like this. I've done work for all of them. They would be probably more than happy to come and have a drink and do some signings and whatever. But the fact of the matter is we live in Australia and it's really hard to do stuff like that. Whereas the companies overseas and these clubs overseas are easily able to get Mark Henry, and Joe Hendry appeared at one and did some songs and whatever else. You know, we can't do that. So our major, I guess, obstacle is what can we continue to provide for everybody that doesn't allow the brand to get stale, where it's just, oh yeah, it's another night with freaking, you know, themes again. They're going to play the same shit and blah, blah, blah. We don't want it to get into that trap. So, and you know, we try to give you guys as much as possible, like whether it's giveaways or whether it's, you know, different spins on the night. Like, for example, with Countdown, the whole point was the Royal Rumble. So we did it in that style, you know, for something different. That's what we want to continue to do. But it's very, very hard. I do have, like I say, a couple locals and a local / international from here, but, you know, made it quite big. But we need to just wait and see when the timing's right and we can get them in for sure.
I would definitely like to say I did meet Hornswoggle, or Dylan as his name is,
Yep.
at House of Hardcore when they came out both times in Melbourne. One at the the pavilion and one out the
Yeah.
other side of the city. And he's a down to earth dude. He took the shot off me. I was about to drink at the table and drunk it right in front of me. So
He's a very cool guy,
Sounds
man.
like a
Like,
great guy.
yeah, I tell you, I had some really funny conversations. Like, he'd be drunk and voice text me on Messenger with ideas about cards and different merch designs and stuff. And I'm like, mate, just we'll talk tomorrow, yeah? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Go and get pissed, like.
and
But
also
he's an actual champ. He's really cool.
as I said to you on message, and there's a wrestler who I was messaging you about, Australian wrestler. I am trying to get him to reply to you. So if you reach out, I'll let him know.
That's who I was. I didn't know if I should say who it is or earlier, but
That's
that's
fine.
the one that, you know, he reached out to us originally,
Yeah.
and I said, based on what we had at the time, you know, here's what we can possibly do. Let me know what you think. And he's like, oh, we'll have a chat. I'll have a chat to my team and we'll get back to you. And then never heard from him ever again. So I thought, all right, here's what it is. You know, you can't win them all.
Yeah. So
Yeah, sometimes people are just busy.
I'm trying to my hardest by talking to him because I saw him at the baseball when the OVW is it
Yeah.
OPW did the baseball brawl. So I'm trying to work on that wrestler for you guys as
He
well.
seems
So
all right. He seems pretty cool.
it's pretty cool. He gave me $200 worth of merch for $100. I think he said, because he had it
So
on him.
you scammed him, and that's why he won't message
No,
back.
no, he messages
You
me all the time. But Seymour Belly, before I continue my questions today, do you have any questions about Remix Mania?
No, I think most of it was just covered. Then I was going to ask about the possibility of a cross promotion / after party with wrestling promotions that come to town, but you kind of covered that, so that answered my question.
I will say something on that though. We do. I can announce both of these. We haven't put it on the Instagram, but I mean it's been there anyway. We do now have an affiliation with Renegades. So
Handles.
as
Fuck yeah.
everyone would know after the last event, you know. So we're gonna try to work with them. Mikey's a really good dude from Renegades, so we're gonna try and work with him on a few things in the future. I had a nice long hour phone call with him not so long ago about some ideas that we can possibly do together, which will be really cool. So I guess there's something to look forward to there, and if you can read between the lines, whoever's listening and you guys, if you pair with a promotion, there's opportunities for other things too.
Yep,
True.
could have a Remix Mania night as a Renegade pay-per-view. Maybe. Who knows?
No, we can't do that.
Damn it.
That would be really cool though, but no.
Get the resident referee as the special guest referee. There we go.
You're our resident ref, mate.
As I said to you, Beau, and I'm gonna ask you this question, and I know you design your. Is it you that designs the logos for Remix?
Yeah, I mean, fun fact if you like, I design everything that we put out.
Okay, sweet. So, is it all right that I use the Remix Mania logo for my referee shirt?
Of course, I'll send you a high res version so you can get it printed properly.
Thank you, because that
No
was
problem.
going to be the surprise. I was going to get the official Remix Mania referee
Uh-huh.
shirt.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. I'll send it through to you. You can do what you like with it. Just don't go print like 20 t-shirts and sell them for $30, you know?
No, I will not do that.
Leave that for him to do.
Yeah, I'll leave that for you to do.
Hey, listen,
I'll
I don't want to say too much, but merch could be along the cards
Fuck
soon.
yeah.
Well,
so-
that was going to be one of my questions. So my question was: is there a way? Like, obviously, I'm not following you guys as of yet. I will rectify that.
Disgrace. Look at this.
I will rectify
Okay.
that immediately. I'm very
Okay.
slack when it comes to social media. I will fix that up. Is there any other way that we can help promote apart from just sharing? Do you have anything else that we could, try and obviously it's a very niche market for wrestling fans. I feel
It
like
is.
it's still very taboo. But we all love it. So if there was any other way that we could help apart from just sharing everything, please do reach out. I would love to.
Yeah.
I've been telling John. John's been telling me I need to come up. I'm pretty
You do.
slack.
You're not too
I
far
will try
away,
and get
mate.
up there for one of them. So I will try and get up for one of them. That's for sure. And support the cause because why not? The other question I've got: is there any other themes that you've got in the mix to try and
Okay, so
to try and look
answer
into?
Sorry.
Like anything you're trying to look into for like an idea for another night.
Okay. To answer your first question, there is a way at the moment. We are launching. Wow, we are launching Remix Champions, which we will be having the meeting for this Thursday. That's putting together a team of people to join in on making this night theirs as much as it is ours. Everything will be revealed in that meeting. I'm not going to do it obviously here, but.
Yep.
That's probably the best way at this point, other than sharing everything, of course, and telling your mates. And word of mouth does still have an impact on people, of course. So, if you're ever going to come down and you get a few mates, that's great. It's good to see. And we continue to build the community that way. But secondly, in terms of other themes, yes. So you guys obviously realize that we've tried to pair up what we're doing with what's going on in the WWE world, but we also know we're not stupid. We also know that there's plenty of other promotions that people watch. However, when you're running nights like this, you have to appeal to the mainstream before you appeal to, let's say, GCW, right? Because it's as simple as that. The mainstream's the mainstream. That's where you're going to get most of your people from. So we try to pair everything up with what pay-per-view. I hate saying PLE, sorry.
I still call
pay-per-view
pay-per-views as well. I get in trouble. all the time for it.
Yeah. Whatever's on at the time, we try to pair it up if it themes well. So, for example, with Countdown and Rumble, that was just perfect, right? Obviously, we have Mania coming up, so you can kind of do something similar with that. You'll see when that gets launched. But going forward, like I look at something like SummerSlam and go, well, how does that work for us? We're in the middle of winter, mate, right? So it doesn't really add up. There's nothing there that you can kind of do differently that would look like a SummerSlam event or anything. So it all depends, but we try to theme it that way. And I think that's a kind of cool thing because when we do it, we know that everybody's G'd up to watch whatever's on at that time. for example, with Countdown, we did it, and then 2 days later was Rumble. So we're kind of like a pre-party to the show, and I think we're going to continue to do that whilst adding other things, which, yeah, for now I can't really let up on too much. It's all a bit hush hush, but yeah, I mean, wherever we can, we'll try to incorporate what's going on in the wrestling world with what we're doing, but sometimes it doesn't work,
Yeah,
Like you did the night when AJ Lee came back. A week later, there was a theme night announced. Let's light it up.
Yeah, we called
and-
the night light it up, and that was kind of, you know, keep it in theme sort of thing, because there really wasn't anything else at that time. So, and honestly, when I look back at it now, it wasn't the greatest theme idea or anything, but it was something. And then
Yeah.
the countdown thing just kind of blew everything out of the water. That was a really successful night for us, and
That's-
reviews wise, in terms of feedback that we got at the end of, I want to say this, while we're here, at the end of Countdown, we had people come in, and I've never experienced this, and I've run nightclubs nearly my whole life. um I've never had people come up at the end of a night and say thank you ever in my life, because you just don't do that. Like, when do you ever go to a nightclub and then go find the person that runs it and say, hey, thanks? No one does that. They just leave and get in the cab, right?
Yeah. It's not a
So
nightclub
to
thing to
see
do.
this, it really shows you that the wrestling community is just a very appreciative bunch. And when you're putting on something like this, we've always had in the back of our head that the main goal here is not for us to fill our pockets, because I can tell you now, we are not doing that right now. But the main point of all of this is, yes, we turn our idea into a reality, but it's more for people to have. If you look at the wrestling community on a whole, it's not really the community you associate with nightclubbing. Let's be real, right? Um,
100%.
s- sorry.
I said 100%. I never
Yeah.
liked nightclubs until this came along. Like,
Yeah. So the point was, and we know that a lot of wrestling fans are very introverted and so on and so forth like that, but they're also very, very cool people and very good people to talk to. And we've got many friends that are in that situation. So I was like, why don't we give these people a space where they feel comfortable to come out, have a few drinks with their friends, and they're all there with the exact same interest? No one's, and I don't know, when you come to one of our nights, you see no one. It's not like a standard nightclub. Nobody's there to impress anybody. No one judges anybody. Everyone is there for the exact same reason. And it's just, let's listen to some wrestling tunes crossed with going out. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point, to give everyone this space where they all feel comfortable and can come and party, and know that no one's going to judge them for what they're into, because we all get judged. Let's be honest. Our whole life, if you're into
Yep.
wrestling, you're apparently a loser, right? So we're trying to give everyone that space, like I say, to not feel that way and just come have fun. And when you leave, that's it.
agreed. And now my final two questions from me, and then we'll wrap it up unless Seymour or Belly have any more questions. What is your reactions when you see people do wrestling moves on each other at these nightclubs, at these events?
We didn't we didn't expect that to happen, to be honest, because this was also our first time running it, so we didn't know if this is what actually happens or whatever it might be. And the first time we saw it, I said something, I go, oh dude, do we have to put mats down or some shit for this? Because this is not good. Like, I don't know if you realize, when you run a nightclub, if something wrong happens with one of those moves, the venue's liable, we're liable. It's an absolute shit show, right? But I'll happily say that, I mean, we've probably had about 50 moves be done over the 3 events, and nothing's gone wrong yet.
Touching wood.
Sorry.
Touching wood, making sure that continues.
Yeah. Touch wood. Yeah, nothing's really gone wrong. Everyone's been pretty safe about it, and it is very cool to watch, and it makes for some good content when you chuck them up, and people like to see that. And it's actually quite a cool thing, because whether it's someone doing a Triple H impression, or whether it's someone getting speared, or whatever it might be, you put that up, and you can see that, we get a lot of comments where people say, holy crap, this looks really fun. So yeah, I got nothing against it. It's quite, as long as people be safe, then we're good, because I don't need first blood matches happening.
Ah.
That's why you got the official ref there. He made sure everything's safe. He made
That's
sure no
it.
one's throwing using chairs or anything like that. Like we did have one glass
Exactly.
break during last event,
Ah,
but I like what you
that's
did.
normal anywhere, mate.
I like what you did. You just made a list voiceover, did. But I remember my
Yep.
first time being there. I think you were the DJ when the Road Dog and Mr. R song came on. I took the mic off you and you let
Yep.
me do the Road Dog promo. I thank you for that
Yeah.
because that took me out of my shell as well. But this time you played it instead. So I was kind of bummed out that you played it. I couldn't do it, but it's all good. My last one, and this is about the drinks that you have offered here at Remix Mania. How do you come up with the names
Yep.
and the ingredients for it?
So I mean, there's nothing to really hide here. The drinks are just standard drinks that the club offer, but we rename them, right? So what most people would usually do is they just go on ChatGPT or something and just go, yeah, that sounds good, call it that, right? We have looked at all of their cocktails, all their shots at La Di Da and tried to kind of, I guess if we look at the ingredients of what's in it, we try to pair that up with what it would suit in the wrestling world. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So originally, for example, the bloodline, right? The wet pussy drink as a shot is red. And their merch was black and red, and it says blood in bloodline. So we're like, okay, that makes sense. Let's do that, right? And we just went through the entire list and did that, and that was it. But the last event, we actually changed up the drinks. They were all different to the first time and the second time. And that's all we do. We don't chat GPT anything. We just come up with the things ourselves and yeah, just try to match it up as best as possible. Like what relates to this drink in the wrestling world, no matter what it is, whether it's a move or we kind of. I mean, there's one that's called Sweet Chin Lemon something. I can't remember. Mixing names like that with drinks. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So that's all that happens. There's nothing. It's not anything fancy, but you know, it's an extra additive to the night and yeah, people. I'd much rather go to a wrestling night and instead of saying, "Hey, can I get the whatever cocktail it is?" I get to order a wrestling drink. You know.
yeah.
But we do have plans to actually go one step further with those in the future. But we just need to work on it a little bit more.
Fair enough.
Dot some I's and cross some T's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, pretty much.
Seymour Belly, any other questions for our guests before we wrap it up?
Not, I got one, but I kind of already know the answer. The possibility, I know it's hard, of doing a like live performance like you do, and then cross promoting it to something like a Twitch or a YouTube or a Instagram live and stuff like that. I know it's pretty much impossible because it's in a public place and you can't stream people without the permission, all that kind of stuff. But yeah,
Uh, you can. You definitely can stream your night. It's no problem. That everything's
okay,
covered by that um through the venue. Because of see, we want to do it. We've spoken. It's funny you mention it because we've spoken about it a few times to try and do a
Yeah.
live feed for at least part of the night,
Mm.
to be able to show people who couldn't make it what they're missing out on and buy a ticket next time.
Yeah.
No, more like it is good exposure to show people exactly what happens on the night. But I mean, we put out reels and show people. We're very transparent with everything anyway. The
Yeah.
thing that I have in the back of my head, and I've just never really liked, is we all know, you know, you can watch Tomorrowland online, you can watch Ultra online and all that sort of stuff, but they've got hundreds of thousands of people that go through there, and them streaming that online is not going to lose them any people, right? If we go ahead and do that, you know, we're already such a small base at the moment that we don't want to entice people to not come and just watch it online.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, but I do want to do it. To answer your question, I do want to do it. We just need to kind of build the community base a bit bigger, and then we'll go, yeah, 100%, we'll chuck it up because people interstate can watch it, and yeah, nothing wrong with that at all.
Ken Hill could possibly make an appearance as well and do a live cross maybe one day, maybe. But we need to build our brand up as well. But Seymour, do you have any questions?
Nothing Remix Mania related anymore. I think we've exhausted that. There's just a couple of important questions
Yeah, go ahead.
that I, as a me, need answers to.
Go.
You mentioned earlier that Asuka is your favorite women's wrestler currently,
Yeah.
or one of, or whatever it was that you said.
Yep.
Who is your favorite male wrestler, and who do you think is the most current underrated performer in the WWE, whether it be Raw, SmackDown, or NXT?
So we're just talking current for all.
Yep.
Did you ask female as
If
well?
you
or
want to
did you
change it
just
to
ask
like
male?
of all time, then I'm okay with that as well.
I'll do both if you want. Stuff it. Doesn't matter. All-time female leader.
Yep.
And then Asuka now. And then for male, Undertaker of all time, and then right now Ethan Page. But he's
like
also
you.
sorry.
we like you a lot.
Yeah, look, there's a connection with Ethan as well from chats in the past, and also he shares the same background, heritage in nationality that I do. So we had that kind of chat as well, which was great. But to see him get called up to WWE was awesome. But I also going to use him as the most underrated as well, because I feel like, yes, okay, he's North American champion in NXT, but I feel like he's bigger than that. I feel like he's very good on the mic. He's not like the most superstar wrestler you've ever seen in your life, but I think he's fine to watch, right? And I still like watching him do his thing in there and all the rest of it. I think he just plays the part really well, and I think it's about time they get him to the main roster.
Agreed.
I think he definitely has the look and the mic skills to be able to. And hey, I'm, for lack of better terms, carry the company.
100%.
I
I
agree.
am in agreement of you 100%. I
And
think
look,
for the men's roster in NXT for the last 12 months, he has been the only thing that I have liked.
You know, part of
And
me,
for
and
the-
this is real kind of sinister, but part of me wants him to, at some point, just fizzle the fuck out so he can get on the indies and come to Australia.
I am so I'm not a big AEW watcher for the fact that the thing I like the most about wrestling is the stories, and obviously it's very well known that they're not a big story promotion.
Yeah,
Which is fine. You need different types of things.
correct.
And they serve their purpose. They do a very good job of what they do. But I'd never seen him over there, because I think the small amount of AEW that I do watch with Belly, because Belly can't stop watching wrestling. I didn't get to see him because I guess he was already on the way out. So
He was very good.
my first like visions of him were attacking, I think it was Trick, and getting the title shot. The way he won the title, the way he lost the title, everything that he's done. I've lost my smile, so I'm going to take Javon Evans one. Like, there is not a moment in NXT that he's had so far that I am not frothing at the mouth wanting the next bit. The only thing that's annoyed me is the fact that we never found out what was so good about his contract.
He's very
I can't wait
exciting
for
to
him
watch,
to
and
be the guy.
if you get a chance, I would go and watch some of his old toy vlog videos where he used to go to different stores, sometimes with Matt and Brian and whoever else, but he'd drag a lot of indie wrestlers along and AEW guys and stuff. And you'll see what sort of person he is without the, ego gimmick. And absolutely awesome. He's so cool. That's how I really came to know who he was, because he got a bit of a kick up the pants and I guess some credit from those guys that were around him. But then when he came over from AEW, just nailed it, man. I don't know how they haven't called him up. I understand Oba was always going to be in that line first, big body and the rest of it and blah, blah, blah. But he's got to be close. Surely, I mean, the way I'm looking at it is they're not tag team well, they're not mixed tag champs anymore, are they? That's done.
No.
So
No, they lost that.
Yeah, so now he's just
even if
North
they were,
American
that doesn't
champion.
matter.
Sorry?
Even if they were still the mixed tag team, Chelsea being on SmackDown, it wouldn't matter.
No, it wouldn't.
could-
But I,
they
I
could just
wouldn't want him
go
to
up
come
on
over
SmackDown.
in that scene. I'd rather him lose this North American Championship, have a bit of a break, whatever it is, and then they open up the spot that he's on the main roster challenging for something. I think him in an IC role is amazing. But um, just real quick, what I'd love to see, I'd love to see them bring him over in the Intercontinental story somehow, but it ends up being him versus Cardona.
I would love to see that match.
Because they're actually quite good friends off camera. So I think it would be awesome to see. But them going back and forth would be a really cool story, and there's a lot they can bring up. But that's what I was going to say earlier about my theory with the Intercontinental thing in the future. I think they bring Cardona into that as well. But yeah,
they have to,
Ethan Page,
surely.
mate,
Well,
that's my
even
boy.
Me and
The,
Seymour both I think I can speak for Seymour here that we both want Ethan Page to come straight up to the main roster and go after CM Punk because they have history of what
Immediately.
happened in NXT. Just like pretty much Kevin Owens, John Cena spec, but with Ego and CM Punk, and just go straight into main event status against CM Punk. Both of them cutting promos
100%.
against each other would be.
I'd
fun.
be fine with that, 100%. I just don't think they do it.
That's what we've been dream booking that for like the last 8 months or 9 months or
Yeah, right.
however long it's been since Punk cost him that match. We were like, that's a story ready made. When he gets
Yeah,
to the
I mean,
main
it makes
roster,
sense.
that could be his
Definitely
first
makes sense.
story. He comes up, you're the guy that cost me the moment. Fuck you, I'm coming after you. And if
Yeah,
he's got
and
the
you know
title
what?
still, I'm not mad at it. And he can win it by laying down on a knocked out CM Punk and he's knocked out too. Like, I don't care. I want to see
Yeah.
him win every match sleeping. Like, that was the
I would
funniest
love to
shit
see it.
I've ever watched.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I'd love to see that too, but I just don't know
Yeah.
if they would do it immediately. But if they did it, mate, I'm all for it. You know that.
Yeah, 100%. I think
I
Ethan
might-
Page is probably the biggest draw for me at NXT, and I think
Oh, yeah.
that's the only reason that he hasn't been called up. Because if he went up with Trick and Oba and Javon, they've got nothing.
You're actually probably spot on there. Yeah.
It's the same reason they left
Ricky Saints.
Asuka down there when they brought up all the females. They brought up all the women to have these 3 women teams all over the place, but they left Asuka down there. Otherwise, they'd have nothing.
Yeah, that's
So
spot on.
it's
Yeah.
he is phenomenal.
Yeah,
100%.
I agree.
Well, we still I
Good-
have
good-
not
good
heard
list.
I have not heard Ethan Page's song play at Remix Mania yet. So Beau, get on top of that.
Yeah, well, the boys do have it now. Last was a little bit different because it was so taken up by the countdown.
Yeah.
So we missed out on a lot last, but I think it actually was okay because it meant that it wasn't hearing the same stuff all over again. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I'll make it happen. It's all good.
It's all good, and I will be immediately sending it to Seymour if he's not there, saying you're missing out. Get up here. Excuse my language.
The only way I'm missing out is if he plays like Batista into Solo Sikoa into Aleister Black into Ego. Like,
Jeez, that's a very specific order.
I know they're like the 4 greatest songs of all time, in my
Fair enough.
opinion. At the moment, I guess it'll
Fair
change
enough,
next
fair
week.
enough.
All right, Belly, do you have one more question to both Remix Mania or wrestling?
No more questions, but I know we spoke about Ethan Page for 3 hours, but that's just how good he is. But he's in my top 3 current best wrestlers in the world, and they are Drew, Ethan, and fucking MJF because they're always working. Even when they're not on TV, they're doing media appearances, they're on YouTube. No matter where they are, they're always working. And I'm like, I like my old school, and they're always in character. They're always talking shit about, Drew's always talking shit about CM Punk, MJF's always talking shit about everybody.
Talking shit
Ego's
everyone.
always got his
Yeah.
ego. I just love the fact that whenever you see anything on socials, it's just them still working. I just love it.
It's a flashback, isn't it? It's what we grew up with. The characters were always the characters. Like, I love the idea that he's got the channel and does that toy. I probably won't watch it because to me, he is Ego. Like, that's the thing. I mean, I'll probably end up watching it because I'm a massive fanboy and I'll
Mark.
do everything. But I actually agree. There was a wrestling page that popped up on my Facebook this morning when I was having smoke at work, and it was like a current list of all the major champions
across the major promotions, whether it be AEW, WWE, MJL, CMLL, Ring of Honor, all of them. And I was like, well, on that list, the best 3 were Drew, MJF, and Ethan Page. And if I was to start a company, I would build it around those 3 somehow. It wouldn't matter. Though would be the first 3 people I'd phone, like ring immediately.
And you
I,
just gave me
on that note about what I don't know which one of you said it earlier because I wasn't watching the screen, but the mention about Ethan Page getting booked into you both have fantasy booking it into
Yeah, we
Punk.
both love the idea. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So I don't think it's gonna happen, but there's only one thing that I think is better than that, and it's MJF coming over and then dethroning Punk.
Yeah, I think he signed a
And
massive deal. So I don't think it's going to happen
honestly,
yet.
No, it won't. But I think it's inevitable that he does end up there, unless he really does stick
100%.
true to
He's
his
too
guns.
good.
This
is
is a
way
big
too good to be
conversation in
there.
itself. Yeah, this is a big conversation in itself. But if we're talking about what you mentioned earlier about who's got the stronghold on the storylines and that, he belongs in a place that can cater to what he's able to do, and that's not there. But I mean, it is what it is. We're either going to get him or we're not, and it's the same freaking conversation that people have with Moxley if he's going to come back and all the rest of it. So there's certain things you want to see, but I think that's the only thing that's bigger than the Ethan Page idea. I think, and yeah, MJF would be. Oh mate, I'd actually be scared to be in the arena on the pop for that one.
So would I.
It would.
That would be loud.
Me and Belly were watching. I think it was the Australian show for AEW last weekend.
Yeah,
and we're in Discord with a couple of people that aren't avid wrestling fans and all the rest of it. And they were rightfully shit talking AEW because it is so rushed and not planned out and pop related, not story related, and all that sort of stuff. And the main event came on, or I think wasn't the main event, or whatever it was, MJF versus Brody King. And they said something about the match, and I was like, just shut up, watch it, because this will be the best thing you watch all night.
Yeah.
Because everything MJF will do will be for a reason. Brody King picks him up and he screams at the top of his lungs, "Oh shit!" Every bit that he does just makes the match and the story so much better. 100%.
Yeah,
and
he's talented as shit.
Born
Man.
for the WWE.
And he has a decent
well, either that or opera singing,
True.
But yeah, so I'm in a very big agreement.
So on that note, I'm going to call the show there. Beau, thank you so much for coming in and being a special guest panelist tonight. We will love to have you and the Remix Boys back again for another episode if you guys are up to it later on down the track. Just to plug Remix Mania real quick, you can find them on Facebook.
Definitely, man. No, thank you. I appreciate it.
You can follow Beau and the Remix Mania guys on Instagram and Facebook. Do you have an X account for Remix?
Nah, not worth it.
They're not worth it. Okay, so follow on them too. See their announcements. They did announce a couple of days ago there is an announcement coming in regards to Mania weekend. Again, Beau will not tell
They did the
anyone.
Veer Mahan. They announced the announcement.
Yes, they
I
did.
like
They did indeed.
Hey, I got to build hype somehow, right?
Does
An
indeed.
announcement is coming.
If you would like to be a Remix Mania champion, message the boys on Finno, but I believe the list is currently a lot of people, so I'm not too sure how that's going to happen. I will find out on Thursday. Beau, do you have anything to say before we wrap it up tonight?
No, just thank you for having me. I appreciate it, getting the chance to talk about Remix Mania and just wrestling. It's been really good. It's been refreshing. So absolutely loved it. Thanks, guys.
Belly?
No, you're welcome. Me and Belly would love to have you on our podcast anytime.
See,
Yeah,
I'm
so
keen.
welcome
Just
on
let
the
me know
Team
and we make it happen.
John podcast. No, it was good. Good chatting with. It's good chatting with anybody that's into wrestling, especially when they're into it as much as you clearly are, and it's good to see somebody doing what you're doing with the DJ scene and making this wrestling thing. You're obviously in it for the right reasons because you obviously have a big passion for it, so that's good to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
Seymour, you have anything final words?
I mean, he likes all the people I like. He's all right in my books. And say hi to your mum for me.
Taking my gimmick, you bastard. But anyway, Beau, are you
It's
going
been
to
mine from day
Renegades?
one. Go away.
Are you going to
Sorry?
Renegades this weekend?
No, I'm not. I've got a family. I'm meeting my. I'm actually meeting my one of my long-term friends' second kid that they just had. So I'm gonna be out of action.
Okay, well, tell me
Perfect
enjoy.
time to Batista bomb a child.
Sorry.
Perfect time to Batista bomb a child.
Exactly right.
Tubby, enjoy Renegades of Wrestling this Saturday. Thank you to Beau, thank you to Bellies, thank you to Seymour. We'll be live again tomorrow night with the Johnny Hancock NRL footy show. Tune in to then at 8 o'clock Australian Daylight Saving Time. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night. Bye for now.